So here's our goal, and I want you to know how this stuff works and what is it doing to the molecules to help them be able to do what they're doing. All right. Now, a few key terms. This is a mixture of ethanol and water, and it's miscible. And miscible, as it says, like they're going to mix together. All right. Unlike oil and water, which is immiscible, doesn't form a homogeneous mixture or it doesn't dissolve. Now, here is a distillation setup. And in this setup, you've got a heating component. You've got your whatever you're trying to distill in there. You've got a condenser and you've got water in and water out. You got a thermometer. Over here is where you'd collect whatever it is you're trying to distill. Here are some close-up photos of the setup. Here we're looking in on the heating chamber or the round bottom flask. That's your heating. Here's my thermometer. Here's my beaker on the other end where I collect my distillate. And this is a drawing that I did of the whole setup. These things down here are boiling chips. Sometimes what will happen is if you heat the liquid, or excuse me, if you heat the solution, it gets like super heated. It goes above the boiling point, and then boom, it boils, and all of it will jump out and down your condenser, and you'll lose some of your sample. All right, so here's my solution. Here's our thermometer that we're using. Here's where we're applying the heat. All right. Here's my my condensation chamber, or it's also called the condenser. You can see these. This is the liquid boiling, and here it's condensing. Water in, water out, and then here's where I collect my distillate. Okay. Now to apply this to the setup, here's my heat, here's my thermometer, there's my condenser, and that's where I would collect my distillate. I distillate. Now, in terms of water and ethanol, how does this work? Why is it able to distill one before the other? Well, ethanol is not as polar, it doesn't have hydrogen bonding like the water does. So ethanol has weaker intermolecular forces or weaker IMFs. And these weaker IMFs mean that the ethanol is easier to separate, all right? It's easier to pull it apart. Therefore, it's this ethanol is going to have a lower boiling point, and the molecules will boil and condense as the distillate before the water does. And the converse is true for water. Water with its stronger IMFs will be harder to separate. They're going to like lock together more, all right? It's going to have a higher boiling point, boil at a higher temperature before it condenses as a distillate. All right. Thank you, everybody, and I hope you're having a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.